There are a few coasters out there where budget did not shape its formation. You think of Fury 325, The Beast, and probably the best example of dream it and we'll build it is the Voyage at Holiday World. This monolithic coaster stretching 6,442 feet of track through the Indiana woods is one of the most visually impressive roller coasters ever built. But size is not everything, and how does this titan of a roller coaster stack up against the best wooden coasters out there? Today we go into what makes the Voyage special in its in-depth review of Holiday World's magnum opus. Holiday World is known for its wooden coasters, starting with the Raven in 1995 with its amazing ejector airtime through the woods along with its picturesque setting along the lake. Then comes the Legend in 2000, which is still one of the best wooden coasters out there, focusing more on laterals than airtime, but still delivers an insane and long ride. When it came time for Holiday World to build their next world-class wooden coaster, they decided to build one of the most ambitious roller coasters ever constructed. Opening in 2006 by the relatively new company, the Gravity Group, which at the time had only built one other coaster previously, Hades at Mount Olympus. However, the Gravity Group was made up of the recently defunct designers at CCI who designed the Raven and the Legend. The Voyage takes full advantage of its terrain, not only going through the heavily wooded forest of Holiday World, but slowly climbing up a hill to its insane turnaround and then spin back around and start an insane second half. But we'll get into what makes that special later. Standing at 163 feet tall to get to the speed of 67 miles an hour to get up that hill, the Voyage is truly one of the most ambitious coasters ever built. You begin your voyage by climbing up the massive 163-foot tall lift hill, overlooking Splash and Safari in the back half of Holiday World. As you crest the top, you look down at part of the massive airtime hills in front of you, and the 66-degree first drop plummeting down, reaching 67 miles an hour. You bottom out in between the trees, something that will become very commonplace on your journey through the Indiana forest. Then you climb up into two massive airtime hills, ones that seem to resemble camelbacks you find on B&M Hypers, which, like B&M Hypers, deliver outstanding moments of floater airtime. After getting the first seconds of the insane 24.3 seconds of airtime you'll get on this insane journey, you plummet down in the first of several tunnels. Remember when I mentioned that the Voyage is climbing up a hill during its first half? To achieve this feat of keeping its pacing in maximum overdrive, Holiday World needed to build an insane 5 tunnels to achieve this feat. Without the tunnels, the pull-ups on the airtime hills would have been much shallower, delivering much less of that fantastic airtime sensation. After blasting through the first tunnel, you turn to the right and head into a second tunnel, then a third, delivering even more amazing floater airtime before you enter Act 2 of the Voyage, the Spaghetti Bowl. Most roller coasters have simple turnarounds to get the train heading back to the station. The Voyage is anything but simple, as it uses as much track as possible in the best way possible before making its way back down to Thanksgiving. As you exit the tunnel, you hang to the left and then quickly dive down to the right, giving an incredible and an unexpected pop of ejector airtime. The airtime continues as you quickly change directions to the left, speeding past massive trees concealing where your journey takes you next. You hit 2 more small pops of ejector airtime, and you hit the first of 3 90-degree turns, pinning you to your seat. Immediately afterwards, you hit the second 90-degree turn, slamming you back into your seat. 1 more pop of airtime before heading back into the tunnel you entered the Spaghetti Bowl with of course another dose of airtime, where you finally get to take a breather on the mid-course brake run. Your voyage is half over, where you seem to be losing a little bit of steam. Thankfully, this entire time you have been climbing up a hill where you now get to take advantage of all that potential energy, as you now are only 6 feet above the ground, but you are 98 feet above the station thanks to the train. Act 3 begins with the triple down in the dark of a tunnel, delivering 3 moments of amazing airtime, getting stronger and stronger with each hill. You blast into another airtime hill, but this time the massive structure that supported the huge camelback hills at the beginning surrounds you. You gain more and more speed, hitting even more airtime hills, feeling more and more out of control. After a few more airtime hills and cutbacks, you turn to the right, diving under the structure back and forth, hitting your final 90-degree turn. This one more forceful than the last 2. As you cut back into the structure for a 3rd time, you truly feel like you're out of control. Most roller coasters would end it here, as you now have sight of the station that began your journey. Not the Voyage, however, as you now fly over the lift hill that gave you so much potential energy in the first place, turning right, giving a great pop of ejector airtime as you dive under the station. You emerge, taking a left turn with another amazing moment of, you guessed it, a pop of airtime. Go through 1 final tunnel, bang to the right with somehow, after traveling over 6,000 feet, you seem to have enough speed to keep going another 1,000 feet before making 1 final pop-up, hitting the final brakes. You can finally catch your breath as your 6,442 foot voyage is now over. Now, you're going to want to make several laps on the Voyage, but like any coaster, where you sit matters. My first ride was the front row, and while it was excellent to feel the speed and get the smoother experience, I came off my first ride wondering if this hyped up coaster would barely make it into my top 10. Thankfully, I got a back road ride and it all clicked. This is the Voyage I had heard so much about and giving so much violent and wonderful airtime. While of course giving a rougher ride, it is still tolerable, but extremely aggressive. I highly encourage everyone to get at least a ride in both, but if you had to pick just one spot, you go in the back. The only way you can make the Voyage better is if you're lucky enough to get a night ride on this insane ride. While most parks it's just a matter of waiting for the sun to go down, Holiday World in general closes relatively early during the summer, typically around 8 p.m. Far too early to get a pitch black night ride. Until recently, you had only one night a year to get arguably the best night ride on the planet, which is to come during Hollywood Nights. This enthusiast event is a massive bucket list of mine to get some insane night rides on all their wooden coasters, but also ride the Voyage with the mid-course brake runs turned off. Starting in 2024, Holiday World started making this elusive night ride a lot more obtainable, where a few weekends in August, September, and October, Holiday World stays open a little later so you can get those rare night rides. They even ran the Voyage trimless on National Rollercoaster Day. So if you're not lucky enough to get those coveted Hollywood night tickets, see if Holiday World brings back these night rides in 2025. The Voyage is truly something special. I am not sure we'll ever see anything as ambitious built like this ever again, as this coaster truly does feel like the coaster will never end in the best way possible. Holiday World takes such incredible care of their magnum opus, with them constantly retracking large sections of the coaster each off-season. There truly is only a few moments of roughness along with a massive amount of track. Don't get me wrong, the Voyage takes a lot out of you and it's hard to marathon, but I do encourage getting multiple rides on this masterpiece. This is something very special in the small town of Santa Claus, Indiana. The Voyage does truly deserve the highest honor of a perfect score, 10 out of 10. Currently ranked number 4 out of the 210 roller coasters I have ridden. This is my top ranked wooden coaster, edging out Phoenix, the current Golden Ticket Award holder, and other greats like Ghost Rider and Mystic Timbers. I still need to grab a ride on El Toro, which many consider also one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world. I hope soon I'm able to compare these two great wooden roller coasters. What do you think of the Voyage? Do you agree with my review or did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Those of you who are new, consider subscribing to Park Productions, where we have attraction reviews, park reviews, trip vlogs, and many other fun videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.